What was that?
That was a little dance move for the people on YouTube video. Simms Lefkoe, episode 155.
155. You know what I realized? How many Migos songs I actually know over the last week?
You went back and listened.
I did. Well, I've been listening to the radio more lately just because I've had a little free time off. And I've come up, of course, I've been paying attention to it. I'm like, man, I like this song. What is it?
Yes.
So I'm definitely a little more aware. I'm just, it's crazy.
Splash.
I just can't. Or what's the new one? Taco or
Walk It Like I Talk It? No, I don't know.
But no,
it
there's
is.
a new hot one right now.
Oh, Stir Fry.
Stir Fry, man. Yeah, Stir Fry's jamming.
Like a stir fry.
Yeah.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
You're a real hip-hop head, Simms. Speaking of hip-hop. I have been teasing that we are going to have an NBA analyst for the Simms Lefkoe podcast, and it's official that I announce it.
Okay, but it's official? Or just today was it official?
We're going to bother him until it comes more. We had the one and only Dipset Cameron in studio. We're going to try and make him our new NBA analyst at the end of today's pod. It's going to be a 30-minute interview with Cam. That's how long we went. And Simms right off the back was like, did you smoke before you came up here? And he's like, I did. So just know that we have an awesome interview with Cam who smoked beforehand, and we had a great time.
We did. He's the man.
We vibed. Simms wants his wife to dance on stage with Cameron. We had all the good points.
Yeah, my wife loves Dipset and Cameron. Loves Cameron. Like,
Hey Ma.
Oh,
What's
Hey
up?
Ma is her song. When she heard he was coming on today, she was
Can
so
I come to
excited.
work?
She really did.
55. Oh, and hold on.
55.
Phil Simms is going to be on the pod, and we're
Oh.
going to break down where we think free agent quarterbacks should go. We're going to hit news and notes, and we are going to have Simms' deep dive into the top 5 quarterbacks perceived in the NFL draft. I don't know how he's ranking them. I'm going to do Lefkoe inventory and pick his brain before we get going. 55s. Let's get these out the way.
Should you have read my notes first on that
No.
one? No? Okay. 55s, of course, the great Derek Brooks, teammate of mine.
Sure.
Gary Reasons used to play with my dad with the New York Giants. Famous hit of hitting Humphrey on the goal line stand. His earpiece falls out. Let's see, other 55s. Oh, Lance Briggs, Chicago Bears, one of the best 55s I ever played against for sure. After that, I haven't thought about it, so I'll end
We have
there.
a center in today's games, Hronis Grasu.
Oh, yeah.
We have 2 big dudes, Danny Shelton and Stephen Paella.
Damn, yeah, they're both wearing 55.
Some good linebackers. The crazy Vontez Perfect, Ahmad Brooks, Bernardrick McKinney, D. Ford, Koamisi, Frank Clark, Jayon Brown, Jerry Hughes, and then some good pass rushers too.
good one.
Chandler Jones, Terrell Suggs, Anthony Barr, Lorenzo Malden, Brandon Graham. All times, Otis Wilson from the 46 Bears
He was
defense
awesome.
doesn't get enough respect.
Nope.
Matt Millen wore 55.
Right.
Junior Seau, Joey Porter, Willie McGinnis, John Abraham, Jamie Sharper, and Eagles fans will know Stuart Bradley, who was supposed to be
Some
good
big
in the
names
air.
right there, though. Some
I'm
good
going to
ones.
say, I mean, Junior Seau, Willie McGinnis, Otis Wilson, and then you said Derek Brooks and Terrell Suggs. That's a serious list.
That is a serious list.
All right, so I have some news and nuggets.
Ooh.
And we're just going to kind of power through these. It's combine season. All the cool football guys are out in Indy measuring hand size.
Cool.
I wrote something.
You know
for
what they say about big hands, don't you?
Good grip and less fumbles in the pocket with a blindside rush.
No, just big gloves.
Big gloves. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Don't forget, I put out a link for the Simms and Lefkoe newsletter. Subscribe to that. I actually wrote about hand size.
Yeah.
Because I'm fascinated by hand size. I think it's hilarious. We like if a guy comes in with a smaller hand, we legitimately question them as a man.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
We're like, you've been playing this long with those 9-inch paws?
hands are huge in any sport. Michael Jordan wouldn't have been Michael Jordan if he didn't have the hands he had. Aaron
Steve
Rodgers
Francis could have won a
Brett
dunk
Favre,
contest.
whoever it may. Yeah, exactly right. It's a huge thing in sports, and especially at the quarterback position.
One guy that has huge hands,
Yeah.
Russell Wilson, apparently also has a huge bat, doing so well with the Yankees that Aaron Judge came out today and said, quote, he'd definitely have a shot. We talked before, could he possibly use baseball to negotiate with Seattle? Could you?
No.
Is this?
He can't. But he's going to have fun with it.
Right?
And it's probably making Seattle a little nervous, which he probably likes to a degree too.
Do you have to? How good do you have to be for other teams to just let you come in? Now, granted, he was drafted and he's still a thing.
Yeah.
But how good do you have to be at your sport for other sports to mess around with you?
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, baseball is unique in the fact that you can get drafted in high school or college or whatever it may be, and have that background there. But yeah, I mean, come on, man. Russell Wilson is definitely one of the best players in football.
Yes.
I could sit here and tell you, I could argue that he was the best quarterback in football last year. You can make that argument and go,
he was
there was
your preseason
nobody
MVP
better.
pick.
Right. So he is a elite superstar, and man, he just looks natural out there too.
Doesn't
Even when
he?
he was doing double play drills with Dede, I was like, damn. I mean, he looks like he's been practicing this stuff. He's just a legit athlete.
Is there a small part of you that wants him to spurn the Seahawks and come to the Yankees? Is there a small part of you? It is your Yankees.
Well, it is. It is. You know, I love my Yankees. No, we're okay with the Yankees right now. If you haven't seen our lineup, we're kind of loaded.
You're right. If it was the Marlins, you'd be like, they might need this guy.
Yes, exactly. But we're good. But I do like the fact that I still am one that thinks Russell Wilson's last contract was disrespectful to a degree. What is it, 4 years, $80 million? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just not a lot.
Making Blake Bortles money.
Not a lot of commitment there, yes, for a guy that's played to the level he's played at.
Jon Gruden taking the podium.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, everything he says from here out is going to make waves because he's Jon Gruden. But he said that he wants to make Amari Cooper the focal point of the offense. He wants him to be the headliner.
Yeah.
It is a drastic difference to almost avoid talking about Amari Cooper last year and continuously saying, he'll be fine, he'll get it through this, to a guy that right away is going, you're the man.
Right.
Here we were thinking about Gruden and Carr's relationship. Gruden hasn't had the best relationship with wide receivers in his career.
Yeah, but he's had good ones too.
Keyshawn.
Yeah, right. But I think for the most part, receivers like Gruden.
Okay.
I think if you went through it, because they know he is creative and he's going to be able to get them the ball.
And
that's
who
why
doesn't like that?
Right. Like you heard Tim Brown, even though he wasn't crazy about the Tampa experiment in Oakland, he liked him. Jerry Rice before that. Joey Galloway, I know, has tremendous respect for Gruden. So I think the first thing I thought about right away is we're finding out that Amari Cooper was more beat up than we even knew last year.
Right.
Like we knew he was beat up, but it sounds like he was really beat up.
Right.
Okay. I am one, and I know you're the same way. I mean, we saw him in person together in training camp, and I've seen him a few other times. He's special. He has
really
special quickness, special explosion. The Raiders were not good last year. They didn't run the ball great. Derek Carr hurt his back. Amari Cooper certainly had drop problems that got into his head. It was all a bunch of things that led to it. Gruden will get him going.
You think so?
Oh,
you're confident.
I'm very.
You're borderline cocky.
I am cocky. Amari Cooper, if as long as he stays healthy, he will be towards the top of the NFL in receiving in all categories this year.
Fantasy alert.
He will.
I'm not drafting him.
He will be. Because for one thing we did not see early on in Amari Cooper's career is they didn't do a lot around him. They basically split him out.
Put him on the wide, say you're going to run the Z, and either go and get open.
Right.
Yeah.
It wasn't a lot. Gruden's going to find ways to get him easy completions to go, oh, okay, I've caught two. Just like a basketball player. You see one go through the net, then you go, okay, I feel good.
Yeah.
Well, he's going to get him easy completions early in the game, so he doesn't have to think about his catching, but he's going to have lots of creative ways to do it. He's going to blow Amari Cooper hardcore in meetings. In front of the team, he will build his confidence like Amari Cooper's never had before. He's going to go, damn, this guy really, because I mean.
You see this shit?
Yeah, he's going to show Jerry Rice. He's like, you're better than Jerry Rice. And he's going to say that in front of the team. And it's all just going to add to the Amari Cooper and what he can be. And I think it's going to be a special little marriage there.
There was talk after the Super Bowl, Gronk could be done. Apparently, according to Rappaport, Gronk is coming back, and he's going to put acting and WWE on hold. Who thinks that Gronk is going to be a good actor? Can I ask this? It's this weird thing with these guys that have catchphrases like Gronk, Spike, and we're like, he's made for TV. He's a character. He's good WWE. You think guys with bad backs go and do wrestling?
Well, I don't know, but I would throw the red challenge flag at you and go, did anybody think The Rock was going to be like a...
Yes.
You knew he was going to be a good actor, really.
I didn't know who Dwayne Johnson was before he was The Rock.
But when he was saying The Rock's cooking for you...
Yes, he was incredible. I can't believe you're doubting The Rock.
Well,
you think Gronk's going to get up there and just be like, let me tell you something, partner? No, Gronk goes up there and he's just like, I'm going to slam things.
I think he could be more than you think.
You think he could be a good actor?
I think he could. I think that Belichick smushes his personality.
You think he could be like a Rock? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
you
Rock's
think
special, but I'm just saying it's not out of question.
You think Gronk is going to remember lines and deliver them in movies? I think he's
How
going to be.
dare you question somebody like this in his mental acuity, and he knows the New England Patriots offense like the back of his fucking hand.
What?
And now you don't think he can remember, like,
It's not.
what's the Rock been cooking for you?
It's not about remembering the line. It's like delivering the line and playing a role.
Well, it might need some help.
You remember in Something About Mary
Yeah.
when Brett Favre comes in at the end?
Yeah.
That's what Gronk is as an actor. And I feel like it's these guys. They
Just a
do
dumb
one movie.
meathead.
They do one movie and they're like, I get a trailer. I could live this life. Yeah, but you're not an actor. I don't know.
I don't know.
But Gronk's coming back and I'm happy.
I am too.
I'm also happy because now, see you later, Papa John's. Pizza Hut is the new official sponsor.
Good to
of
hear it.
NFL.
Good to hear
You know
it.
I love Pizza Hut.
Yeah.
Pizza Hut is my Oreos. Like you've always wanted to be sponsored by Oreos.
Right.
I now am admitting that I would like to be sponsored by Pizza Hut. You looked at my gut when I said that. I lifted my shirt up a little bit, and he looked right at my gut.
Your shirt's questionable anyways. Can you, 2 hands above the head, raise both hands up? Oh, see, it's questionable. Go to that again. Do that one more time. Oh, see, they can't see your belly on there. That's questionably low. It's a little low, the shirt, okay?
Oh, this one?
Yeah, well, when you raise
don't
your
pick
hands
this
and we
out.
have to see your, like,
How's it look?
hair and
I have
chubbiness.
a chubbiness.
There's a little, like, there's a hair fupa
No,
roll
I'll
there.
be honest. When I'm like working out, and the guy's like, "All right, we're gonna work on abs today." I'm like, "Thank God." You got me doing squats. I don't need more ass. I need less gut. Pat, okay, so a lot of people are turning on
Flustered.
us because they're saying that we're focusing too much on Bortles and all that stuff.
Oh, okay.
I think
They're turning on us?
No, some people are saying that we're being too hard on them.
Okay.
I don't
okay.
care.
All right.
I look at 2 teams that currently look like they're entering next season with the same quarterback, and it upsets me. One is Bortles that we've done plenty of stuff on.
Mm-hmm.
Pat Shurmur is coming out saying that Eli Manning has quality years left. Excuse me, multiple quality years left.
Yeah.
We've been talking about Eli a little bit today.
Right.
Neither of us have thought he's had years left 2 years ago.
Right.
The Giants are really going to go with Eli, aren't they?
It seems like it. I mean, this is my problem
with the second pick in the draft.
This is my problem in the NFL. It's just that quarterbacks have become bigger than the organization and the teams themselves. I mean, I don't even know where to begin with that conversation. I mean, I saw an ex-personnel guy for the Giants kind of say, like, yeah, it's a tough situation to deal with. He cried at his locker, and the whole organization buckled and was like, we got to throw him back in there next week. We got to.
It was like breaking up with someone. They start crying. You go, oh no, let me fix this.
It's not you, it's me.
Yeah, and then they got cold feet. No, you were there to break up for a reason.
Yes.
I said this when it happened. They ruined their opportunity. Mm-hmm. You could have put all of this on Ben McAdoo, but now it's back on you.
Yeah.
And now it's going to be even harder because you're not going to do this on Shurmur.
It's a unique
Could
situation.
Eli bounce back? Could he pull a Brady
can he have
and change his motion?
No, he's certainly not capable of that. No, he's not capable of being that. He's not going to be able to change his motion in that way or do anything like that. And Brady's motion was never that far off to where I was ever going, oh, he's going to lose tremendous power. He just tweaked it a little bit to improve it to where he's become special that way to throw the ball down the field. Eli, I think, the physical skills they've diminished in a lot of ways. And, again, can he have a better year than he had last year? Certainly, because Shurmur's offense is going to do more than Ben McAdoo's.
Offense will be better. The wide receivers won't be injured.
Right.
The offensive line, you got to think, is going to be healthier than it's been the last 2 years.
And I would think they make some improvements along there as well.
You would think.
Yes, you would think. Now, do they take the approach of we get a quarterback at number 2 and we let him sit behind Eli for a year or two?
You think so?
Or do they try to?
Because they've been saying best player available.
Or do they
Saquon
try
Barkley
to?
or
Yeah.
something.
Do they try to go Barkley, or do they try to trade down and get some more picks and then do something?
I will say
needs.
this. I will say this.
Right.
If the Giants draft Saquon Barkley, and their offense is Odell and Saquon Barkley, if they get a young quarterback to make that some form of trio, that is insane.
Well, that's the one
what
thing.
a good OC could do with those weapons.
Yeah.
Like Odell is already like playing 11 on 10.
Right.
Because he's going to take 2.
Right.
Saquon looks like he's going to be one of those guys too.
No doubt. He's going to be one of the best.
I understand the draw there.
I get that too. Totally.
But running backs, you can get them in the 4th round. That could end up being
Exactly
Jordan.
right. I mean, how many times have we had that conversation? You could argue the 2 best running backs in football last year were 3rd and 4th round picks, and Kamara and Hunt from Kansas City. I mean, you could make that, along with Le'Veon Bell.
Well, we're going to get to the quarterbacks in a second
Yeah,
because the
but the
question I'm
Eli
going to ask
thing
you
is really-
is, are
is-
any of them worth the second pick?
Yeah.
And that's what we'll get into.
Yeah, Eli's just it's a crazy thing. I don't know what to say there. I had a thought I was going to say, and I totally blanked out on what it was there. But regardless, yeah, that's the thing. Oh, that's what I want to say. That's the thing that drives me crazy about what's being set up in New York. The one thing, every time I read the newspaper or listen to the radio, it's always, well, if you give Eli a really good offensive line and give him good receivers and a great running back, they can be really good. And I want to be like, but that doesn't exist, like, except for every now and then. So I want to be like, well, yeah, so will the number 2 pick of the draft. If you do that for him, he'll be really good too with all those players around him. I don't understand that. I'm going to be interested to see what they do.
Certain players get the benefit of the doubt when their teammates get injured, and certain people don't.
Right.
Eagles played the second half of the season with a backup left tackle.
Yeah.
But they were fine.
Eli's play bothered me last year. I think that's what really drives me more crazy. He played the politics of the position. He really didn't try to win games. He knew his stats. He was not going to make any tight throws to where we could blame a loss on him for interceptions. If the pocket got close, he was going to throw the ball away or go down.
Yes.
To me, in games, I could sit there and look and go, man, I'm not sure if he's trying to win or just protect his legacy. That would be my issue.
We have 3 retirees today or the last few days. It looks like Zach Strief of the Saints is going to retire. Matt Forte is going to be retiring.
Right, good.
And then Donnie Jones, the punter for the Eagles for 14 years. Long ball Donnie Jones, my guy. Riding off in the sunset like Jerome Bettis and John Elway. Same sentence.
Yeah, same.
Come on.
Same guys.
Some big cuts.
Strief, though, that'll change the things for their Olametti, the other guy that's a free agent that was their fill-in O-lineman for them all year.
I was going to say, so do they move Pete now back to tackle?
No, Pete will stay at guard. They got Ramczyk at right tackle, so that's fine. He'll be good. He'll take Strief's spot. But what they did when they had other injuries is they brought in that, I always mess his name up, 65, Olametti, whatever it may be. He would be their kind of he was their 6th lineman. And he's a free agent. And he's a starting offensive lineman, so this could affect him.
Yeah.
Right.
We have some big cuts. Bears will cut Mike Glennon. They're going to have to wait for the new year, but that was what we were expecting with that contract.
Right.
Jonathan Stewart cut by the Panthers.
Yep.
And the Jets cut Muhammad Wilkerson. It's pretty crazy that 2 years ago it was Muhammad Wilkerson, Sheldon Richardson, and Leonard Williams, and we sat here and went, this is incredible. And now it's just Leonard.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And Leonard,
Steve McClendon's getting old.
Yeah, he's the most talented guy. McClendon's good.
Yeah.
He's definitely a starting interior D lineman. Yeah, Muhammad Wilkerson, for the price he's being paid like he's Fletcher Cox or a Kawan Short. Or, and he's just not that kind of player that disrupts like that. He's still a really good player. I mean, he's a giant man, and he can make a mess of things in the middle, but he's not going to make a mess of things in the middle like a Snacks Harrison, right? It's a little different from that way where, like, Damon Snacks Harrison can take on double teams, and you just can't move him. Wilkerson's good at that, but Wilkerson's career has really been a 3 technique, a 5 technique, and a 3-4 defense where he lines up, head up to an offensive tackle, locks his arms out, and reads the play. Right.
But they were just so dominant.
I know.
And it's all gone.
It's all gone. That's why they're another interesting team, the Jets. I mean, what are they going to do here? And
that's just why
draft a quarterback, free agent quarterback.
That's why when it talks about Kirk Cousins, I just don't see him going to the Jets because I think he wants to win, and I don't know if that's a team. But let's talk free agent quarterbacks.
Yep.
Let's call Phil Simms on the phone. We're gonna keep this tight. There were some iTunes comments that, Adam, you need to stop interrupting Phil. This is our favorite part of the show, and I get it. But, man, when Phil goes...
Oh, he doesn't stop.
He was like that at dinner on Friday night, too, huh?
He's like that always. If he had gone a few days where he hasn't been able to talk, it'll never stop. It's unreal.
It's unreal. You sound like Stu Gatz there. It's unreal.
You know what I actually just said? I was like, that did sound like Stu Gatz. Is anybody calling him back there?
I don't know. Oh, they're calling him right now.
There you go. I can't wait to get in these draft guys, dude.
I
think it's the most interesting. It's really going to be interesting.
All right, but we're not talking about that with your dad.
No, he knows that.
Okay.
We talked about that a little.
Shh.
Simms here.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, hey, guys.
Hey.
What's up, Phil?
All right, what are you knuckleheads up to today?
We want to talk free agent quarterbacks with big fucker Phil Simms.
Quarterbacks. Oh, come on. I mean, everybody talk. I watched 4 5 sports shows this morning. They were telling me about all the quarterbacks. I just wrote it all down, and when I got done, you know how much I had written on my paper?
Nothing.
That's right.
What was the dumbest thing you heard?
Oh, oh, I don't even know. I can't even think about it.
Playing it safe, Phil. Playing it safe.
All right, well, I mean,
No. If I heard something really dumb,
yeah.
I just can't. I was listening on, oh, my God. You know what? I have a hard time. I would tell you, except that I listen and just go, oh, that's so stupid. I can't listen.
Yeah.
All right,
So then I turn the station over. Then I go, oh, hell, that's even worse. And it just, does anybody look, or we just read the paper?
That's it.
And I saw them for 30 seconds on TV,
right?
And I know everything.
That's it.
What drives me crazy.
That's all it is.
I think if we were to have,
and if I said 5 years ago this guy wasn't going to be any good, and he's good now, it could be great. But I'm not going to admit I was wrong. Oh no, don't admit you're ever wrong. No,
it's funny.
please.
Richard Shurmur came out today and tweeted, I think it's crazy that all these draft experts come out here and no one checks to see. I wish someone would check their work 5 years later and see if any of them are actually doing well.
Yeah.
That and weathermen. You can be wrong and no one really cares.
Well, yes, you're right. He's got a great point. We never check. I've heard guys make many statements. I'm not going to call them out here right now.
Do it.
They were so sure, and by God, they staked their career on it, and they're still on TV.
Oh, you're talking about Mel Kiper and the Jimmy Clausen saying that he'd give up if he would quit if he wasn't a success and he's not in the NFL.
I don't know if that was it.
Oh, that's the one I remember.
But there's been many of them.
One time I talked about Jamarcus Russell off the record to my boy Boomer Esiason, and of course, he went right on TV. Well, Phil, this is what you think about Jamarcus. I was like, oh, thanks, Boomer.
I really appreciate
I'll tell you in secret.
That's
off the
awesome.
record.
Yeah, you can't tell Boomer.
All right,
No, when you tell anybody something off the record, that means it's only off the record for a day or so. But sooner or later, it's going to come out.
Right.
I read quotes in the paper that are written by me from years ago. They were off the record, but now they're on the record. So I guess.
Interesting. They've outlasted time.
Hey, listen, Adam, I don't have many great features, but one thing I do have is a memory, and it's very good. And people say, you said this. And I go, no, you're wrong. I said this. Go back and check it. Well, okay, you could be right then. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe. There are no maybes.
The Simms family has great memories, and you're all really good at keeping secrets. At least Chris and Phil are. I feel like you guys are really good at keeping secrets.
Oh, yeah, great.
I don't know about Matt and Deidre. I don't know how it goes with them.
Yeah, they're pretty good too.
Yeah?
Yeah, they are.
All right, good.
Oh, yeah, Matt's a stalwart. Matt wouldn't tell you nothing.
Yeah, I'm
Nothing.
the opposite.
Hell, he doesn't even talk to us. How could he tell us anything?
Exactly right. We're lucky if he just talks, right? All right, so let's play.
If you said something, Adam, in front of my daughter that was even if it wasn't derogatory towards any of us, if she took it the wrong way, she'd beat you up.
Gotcha. She wouldn't tell on me. She just kicked my ass.
Oh,
I'm telling you.
You can't talk crap
She's
about Big Phil.
I'm telling you. That's my daughter.
Yes, she is.
So, Phil, let's start off with the blue chipper of free agency. Let's play fill in the blank. I just made that up. I'm going to give you a quarterback, and you're going to fill in the blank where he's going to play.
Usually it's blank. I just leave it that way because what's the question here?
Kirk Cousins will sign with
The Minnesota
blank.
Vikings.
Ooh.
You're going to go Minnesota, huh?
Yeah, that's where I think he's going to go. Yes.
Okay.
No inside.
Yeah.
Listen, all this draft stuff and Richard Shurmur, it's great. I'm going to watch everybody. I was talking to Christopher earlier. We were talking about all the quarterbacks and all this, but I'm basically going to keep most of it to myself until the very end.
Ooh. You're not doing a mock draft 2.0, 3.0?
shows and tell everybody, and I'll let them slot them as they're doing already, and then I'm listening, and then we'll have a nice little discussion when it's over. When it gets close to the draft. Because once it gets close to the draft, I'm going to do some shows and things like that and let it go.
I like that the Simms guys have realized that they have actual information and that they help out a lot more people than themselves by doing it early. So fuck them, save it, and let's do it.
I've had so many TV and NFL people text me about what I think of the quarterbacks.
Yeah. Fuck them.
Exactly. That's what I trust me. That's what I do.
That's
basically.
what we're doing on the show.
Right,
All right, Sim.
Yeah, I really, even I just had somebody today call and ask. I said, "Oh, I haven't looked at anybody yet," and I hated to lie to him like that, but you know what? I did.
That's awesome.
And, it's just better to keep it. And you know what? I do this especially quarterbacks. I'll answer your question in a second, Adam. But with quarterbacks, you got to go in looking at them this way. You got to hate them, and I hate them all. And then I'm going to watch the film, and who's going to make me like them?
Right. It's a good way,
right? There,
takes the bias out of it.
I've been saying this guy's good. Then you're going to find a way to look and find plays. There, that's why he's great. That's why I love him.
Right.
So and the other thing, and I've said this to you before, but I'll say it again. I never look at the score of the game when they're playing. I don't know their stats. I don't care. I don't care. It doesn't matter. And, I had somebody argue with me. Well, in the big moment, I'm trying to think who we were talking about. Oh, come on. The Oklahoma quarterback.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield, thank you. Man, I got so much going. He didn't come through in the last drive or two of the game, and I go, well, I don't care. That means nothing to me. We all quarterbacks, and many, many, many times don't come through in the last drive.
Right.
You're going to fail more than you have success. So, again, I don't look at the score. I don't care about the stats. I'm going to watch them, grade or see who they are, and then go from there. That seems to work best for me.
You have Kirk Cousins going to Minnesota, so
yes.
Case Keenum will sign with
where do you think there goes?
Wow.
I know. It's tough.
It really is tough. And I really, when Case Keenum was having the year he was having, I did not think there would be a big market for him in free agency. I can't even tell you where he would go. I can't even pick a team. He's going to go somewhere where they're going to pay him a little money. Maybe it's in Minnesota, and he's going to be there, and he's going to be the bridge quarterback is what I would guess for somebody.
Well, do they – yeah.
He has Kirk Cousins going there, though, so he's on a bridge.
Well, they could keep him in Minnesota if he's willing to sign a contract that's not worth much money. They'll give him someone. I don't see that. If they sign Kirk Cousins,
they're not going to have it.
Be the backup in Minnesota.
No, there's no way. I think the Keenum thing that's interesting to me was just some of the teams you could throw around. Of course, you could throw Cleveland around if they wanted to do that, right?
Sure.
The Cardinals are in the conversation.
The Cardinals are the ones that come to mind because I would be very surprised if they don't make a play somewhere to go get a quarterback this year in the draft. And Case Keenum is everything that. I don't
with the
even
Buffalo
know who the
Bills,
coordinator is.
the
Bills, Denver.
Bills is Brian. Yeah, Bills are one of the Brian Daboll. The offensive coordinator of the Cardinals is Mike McCoy, Dad.
Mike McCoy of the Cardinals. There you go. Well, in case Keenum could fit, Mike McCoy's he's taught it all.
Yes,
so
he has.
He could fix it, do whatever. So that would be probably a fit. And then it'll be interesting to see who they view as the guy that they'll probably draft or will draft and get a quarterback. And like I said, he'll be the bridge guy. It's a tough position. That's what Mike Glennon was last year.
Right.
He got paid a lot of money to be that starting quarterback for 1 year, and that's what it was a 1-year contract. And it didn't go great. But, when you draft a quarterback high, how long do you think you're going to be that starting quarterback? If you play great, you might get a second year.
Right.
But that would be it.
Yep.
So, Chris, how do you see the rest of the quarterbacks go? Which teams do you see for all
Well,
of them?
I think the big one, you got A.J. McCarron, right? That's another big name out there.
You think Denver?
A.J. McCarron, let's talk about him for a second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Do you take him to Cleveland? Is Hugh Jackson? Is Todd Haley? Is he Todd Haley's kind of guy? There are some similarities between size and maybe mobility with Ben Roethlisberger, maybe a little bit.
Right.
But is he the thrower that Ben Roethlisberger is?
No.
Let me think. No.
I just can't imagine Cleveland wanting to go the A.J. McCarron route. I find that hard to believe. The one that makes sense to me with A.J. McCarron is the Denver Broncos because I do think
that is where I think he'll end up.
Right. They still have Paxton Lynch. There's still a little hope for him there. And they can legitimately let them have a quarterback competition for the starting job. I mean, Paxton Lynch is a first-round pick, so I know the Broncos aren't just going to want to do away with him after 3 years.
And Elway came out and said he's not ready to rebuild yet, which means I don't think they're going to go super young quarterback.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
That's interesting. And, you're right. Paxton Lynch, I thought he played his best game as a pro the last game of the year last year.
He did play
against
well.
Kansas City.
He looked better. He's been out there. He's kind of learned how to play. He was healthy. He got hurt, all that stuff. So you're right. They're not going to give up on him. but A.J. McCarron would make sense out there. That's where I thought he would originally go to. And I don't think Kirk Cousins will go to Denver. I think Minnesota, he's looking at, I thought there was really 3 teams at the start. Minnesota, like we talked about. Minnesota, the New York Jets, and Jacksonville.
Right.
But it looks like he's not going to Jacksonville. So the Jets, that'll be interesting to see.
I think the Jets are going to, that's what I think. The Jets are going to just try to outbid everybody. That's what I think.
Phil, what did you think of the Jaguars extending Bortles?
I didn't look at the numbers or whatever, but look, Adam, they went to the AFC Championship game. The game is there. They're leading the game and all that.
20-10 in the fourth quarter.
You just don't throw him to the side and say we're going to go with somebody else.
Right.
I just think so. He played. Hey, look, it worked out well for him, and everybody complains. Well, okay, they had certain situations they didn't throw the ball, but look, that's how they played the whole year long. So
right.
all of a sudden, it's a playoff game they couldn't change.
Right.
And he did have spurts where I thought I saw him throw the ball as well as he has thrown it as a pro this year.
Yeah.
But also, he had spurts where he threw it as bad as he's thrown it too. So
it'll be.
It didn't.
Yeah, it's not shocking.
I wasn't shocked.
This day and age, right. We weren't shocked.
No.
There's no way. This day and age, well, yeah, I don't. I think me and you are shocked more that the second year they're not going to be able to get out of it. It's a 2-year, $36 million deal, basically. This is the other thing, Dad. I'm going to throw this out there to you, and I know we haven't talked to this, and then we're going to hang up on you, and we've had enough of you.
How do you think I feel, son?
Okay. You feel good. Buffalo with Tyrod Taylor. This is where it can get interesting to me. Where does Tyrod Taylor end up? Because they're going to release him if they don't get a trade.
Today they have no expectations of releasing him, but I don't think.
Well, they owe him $16 million, almost $18 million on the start of the new league year if he's on the roster. I have a hard time believing that's what they're going to do. To me, where it gets interesting, Dad, I'm just going to throw this out there, is if he gets released, does a Jacksonville make a play for a Tyrod Taylor to be the backup quarterback? Because Blake Bortles is only counting for $10 million against the cap this year. So you can afford to bring a $8 or $10 million backup in and have him be the guy. I just would like to hear your thoughts on that, Dad.
I think that would be right on the mark. I could definitely see that. And, I don't know if I heard it or whatever. They were talking about Teddy Bridgewater down in Jacksonville too. I heard somebody.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, that's been a rumor, certainly.
Yeah, so I heard that from somebody. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But even Tyrod Taylor, he's a step above Teddy Bridgewater in my eyes.
Right.
He's more athletic. He has a better arm. Hasn't been hurt.
Right.
And you're talking about playing the style of football where
he'd
Blake
fit.
Bortles are the same.
Right.
Very careful.
Right.
In my eyes, too careful, but that's how they play, and that's why they keep their jobs. And, that way works for a lot of quarterbacks. And, Marcus Peters, I thought, said some interesting things that, Alex Smith probably doesn't get the credit he deserved in Kansas City, but he had a style of play. And that style has kept him in the league, and everybody talks about Alex Smith. What's the first thing out of their mouth when they're an Alex Smith fan?
He wins. He's a winner.
No. He doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah, right. Or that would have been the second thing out of their mouth, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just don't forget he's on a really good team.
Right. I know. Yeah, he was only on the
two.
Right.
Lawrence Taylor and our defense was great, so I don't know.
That's right. Yeah, I know. People forget that 49er team he was on at the end of his career was the best team in football. And physically. All right, last one, because Lefkoe's getting mad at me. He wants to talk. We haven't talked. We didn't talk.
Let him talk then, son. Let him talk.
Screw him. He's always talking. What about Sam Bradford? What do you think's going to end up with him? That's the last one.
Oh, man.
I know.
Somebody's going to get gold as a backup quarterback.
Right.
Of course, that's, again, is he going to be healthy? I'm sure. Well, yeah, he's got to be healthy. He was at the end of the year.
Yeah, he was the backup in the playoffs. Right.
So I haven't even thought about where he will end up, but he's going to end up somewhere, and he is going to be an unbelievable backup.
I'm going to say he ends up in Buffalo if Tyrod Taylor leaves him because of Brian Daboll's there now, Dad. He left the Alabama, and now he's the OC.
Right, yeah, I know Brian very well.
Right. And
I remember his days at Kansas City. I kind of like what he did out there with the Chiefs.
Exactly. He's from the New England school of thought. I also think about this. Josh McDaniels coached Sam Bradford when they were down with the Rams, and I know he liked him.
Oh, there you go. There's a great connection.
Yeah.
And there's the one thing we know. Sam Bradford has a little Joe Ferguson in him. If you remember Joe Ferguson,
yeah.
It's like Ron Earhart was the coach of the New England Patriots. I'm not going to tell you who his quarterback was, but Ron Earhart was my offensive coordinator for many years for the New York Giants.
Right.
They're up in Buffalo. He says the wind is blowing 40 miles an hour. You can't even stand up. He goes, we can't even warm up. We can't even throw fades to warm up or move because we can't get the ball to anybody. Now look down the other end, and there's Joe Ferguson from Arkansas just ripping the ball one spiral after another. And I said, well, what happened in the game? He goes, well, of course we lost. He goes, because our guys couldn't throw, and he could. And why I tell that story? That's Sam Bradford.
Right.
When he throws the football, there's not a perfect spiral. You go, what, did he break his arm?
Yeah, right.
I mean, he is really just a tremendous thrower of the ball. So that would make great sense because he can handle the wind and the weather in Buffalo. Big hands, long arms, compact motion. He's got everything you'd want to be the quarterback or a thrower, I should say, up in Buffalo.
All right, we're done with you. You hear that? All the millennials are looking up who the hell Joe Ferguson is right now.
Yeah, that's right. Tell him to look it up. Look it up. That's right. He could throw that ball, I'll tell you that.
All right, Dad.
Last little nugget.
Yeah.
So my Steve Walters, my sophomore offensive coordinator at Morehead State.
Yeah.
And he talked, now Phil, he talked like that, and he's from Arkansas, and he goes, I went to Arkansas to be a quarterback, and I go out there and warm up, and I go, who is this guy? And it was Joe Ferguson. He says, I think I'll go play safety. So he was really a terrific thrower of the ball, so I'll leave you with that.
Love you, big fella.
See you, big fucker.
Adam, great talking to you, man.
You too, pal.
All right, bud. See you.
See you, Dad. Oh, that was funny. I love that you brought up Joe Ferguson. I want to be like, Dad, I'm the only one listening to you that knows who that is right now.
I don't know who that is.
Gosh, Joe Ferguson. He was a quarterback in the 70s.
Are you ready to dive into your 5 quarterbacks?
Woo, baby!
5 quarterbacks in no specific order. This is not the order we're going to do it. Sam Darnold, Lamar Jackson, Baker Mayfield, Josh Rosen, Josh Allen.
Do you want me to give my ranking as of right now, how I would rank them?
My question is...
It's going to be my first year ever that I'm not going to say it's set in stone right away after thoroughly watching them.
So you usually can watch a few games and go, I know Carson Wentz is 1, I know Goff is 2.
Right.
I know that, Bortles is going to be 4 and Derek Carr is 1 and
Right.
Teddy is going to be 3.
Right.
But this time, it's that close. Let me get an overview. Are any of these quarterbacks as good as Carson Wentz coming out of college? Do any of them give you that? Or Patrick Mahomes? Both of those guys you went, he could be a star. Do any of them give you that vibe?
They give me the vibe that they can be the star, but unlike those guys, I didn't have any really questions about them. I had no, glaring question that I went,
Like Deshaun Watson, you saw a lot of potential, but you went, he didn't run a complex offense, and I never saw him bring out the 100-mile-per-hour fastball.
Right.
He answered them, but there were no questions about Carson or Patrick Mahomes. You have questions about all of these guys.
I do. There's one glaring question with every one of them, I think.
Ooh.
Yeah, every one of them has a glaring question except for maybe one of the group.
Okay.
Right.
Let's start here.
Right.
Let's start off with the guy. Let's start off with who is number 5. Who is not? Who came in last out of these 5? Let's start there.
Okay. And this is tough because I will say this:
Allen, Darnold, Jackson, Mayfield, Rosen.
Right. I'm going to say this too, and to preclude they're close. I think you can make an argument for different guys being 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I really do think it's this year. Like last year when people said Deshaun Kaiser was number 1, I'm not going to name the people who were saying that. Right. Them. There was even a few others. I was like, damn, you're so wrong. It's not even funny. I don't even know it.
You know what? We should do what Richard Sherman's asking.
So
we should collect who. I'm going to do that from now on. Moving forward.
Yeah, moving forward. I do think a lot of who gets picked and where gets picked is going to be who's the team that's picking, what kind of offensive coordinator do they have.
Oh, wow.
It's going to be a little bit more different than years past where you just go, I
need a quarterback.
Right, exactly right. So, starting with number 5.
Number 5. And you've watched 3 games of every team.
I've watched 3 full games on every one of them, and clips of even third down passing and things like that of every one of them.
You're a sick fucking.
So I went after it for about 7 hours yesterday, and I got a good 2 hours in today too.
Number 5.
Number 5. I'm gonna go Josh Rosen at number 5.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am shocked.
Yeah.
I am shocked.
Gonna go. Not to say I don't like him. Okay, so first of all, he's a first-round quarterback, hands down.
You believe that all 5 of these are first-round quarterbacks?
Yes.
I am shocked.
Undoubtedly, yes. They are all 5 first-round quarterbacks. They are, for sure.
Okay.
So
can I pick your brain?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to do it like this.
Start.
What were the things about Josh Rosen? What did you go in thinking he was going to be like, and then what was the reality?
I went in thinking he was going to be just a real refined pocket passer. And the reality is I was right, but he's even better than I thought from that standpoint.
And he's 5.
He's 5. He is the most polished pocket passer of the group. Like, if you said, okay, I got to pick one of these guys, Brady's out. He can't play 2018. And
you need a guy
one
right
of these guys
now.
right now, and he can play in a mature offense with players around him. Rosen's the guy. Rosen's can be surgical. Like, if you put Rosen on the Saints, I'd go, oh, he could run that offense and be surgical like a Drew Brees. If you're open, if there's a place to throw it, he's going to hit the target, and he has a stronger arm than people give him credit for, and then I even gave him credit for. It's a very effortless, really almost perfect throwing motion.
Yeah.
He can really throw the ball. He can make all throws. He is the best at just playing the position from the pocket. Anticipation, seeing the field, different types of throws, touch.
So then how is he number 5?
Well, so here's...
Don't get upset at me. I'm doing this on purpose.
Yeah, no. So the biggest thing, the issue with him is okay, yes, it's not the strongest arm of the group, certainly
what's
not.
your Josh Rosen question?
My job is the athleticism in the 2018 NFL. It's concerning to me. It definitely is. My notes I wrote down, what is he? I wrote he's a better throwing Eli Manning. I wrote he's maybe a hair more athletic Mike Glennon. That's what the type of player he is, right? So along those lines. And
so a little bit of a wooden Indian, as you call him.
A little bit, exactly right. It would just scare me, and it's part of the reasons he's been injured because he can't even get out of harm's way at times too. So that is scary this day and age in the NFL, where if it's 3rd and 5, you need a guy to be able to run or get out of danger's way and create plays a little bit because of the pass rushers and linebackers that we have in this league right now. So that is my big concern with him. But still, at the end of the day, there was a lot to be impressed with. I'll let you read my notes after this so you can go on to it maybe in another episode.
I'm gonna post these in the newsletter.
Okay.
So subscribe, and his raw notes will be there for each quarterback.
But yeah, I mean, I wrote comments like, okay, sure, I have wrote a bottom line for him. If you just want to hear my bottom line
let's hear the
synopsis.
bottom line.
Bottom line is Rosen is a gifted pocket passer only. He could be awesome with a system and players around him, but his physical gifts are not going to allow him to carry a team if there's injuries at wide receiver and O-line. He's a precision passer with a stronger arm than he gets credit for. Personality and lack of top-end athleticism are going to scare teams. And I wrote just the end, I go, if he were on the Rams, he would be better than Jared Goff. He would have had better stats. Because he's just a better thrower.
Right.
But if you put him on the Seahawks or the Packers, I would say he'd be worse than Jared Goff because Jared Goff can move and maybe make a few plays with the power of his arm and running a little bit to where he's not going to be able to overcome some of those things.
Of the 5,
yes.
Where does Josh Rosen rank in arm strength?
Out of the 5, either 4th or 5th.
Where is he in terms of accuracy?
He's the top.
He's the number 1 guy.
He's the best passer of the group. You know my thing with throwing and passing.
Yeah.
He's the best passer just as far as he's going to be accurate every time. He's going to throw the ball on time.
Right.
He can throw the ball with anticipation when needed to, and he can put the pedal on the metal too.
So you like him?
I like him. I do.
Just athleticism is your big question.
It's a question this day and age in the NFL.
Okay.
Yes.
Now, your number 4 quarterback, I thought Josh Rosen was going to be 2 or 3 for you.
Yeah.
Who is number 4?
My number 4 quarterback is Sam Darnold.
Sam Darnold.
He would be my number 4 as of right now. February, what is it? 27th or 28th?
28th.
Yes. He would be my number 4, and this is the first time in a while.
I'm surprised that you have Darnold ahead of Rosen.
That was really close. And I'm not so sure he might not be by the end of the day. The only reason I'm giving Darnold the advance here is just because of the athleticism.
Yeah,
let
me hear the positives about Sam Darnold.
Well,
what did you like?
He throws the ball better than I even thought, even though I do not like his motion. But he doesn't lose control of the ball much. He really doesn't. And he throws spirals, and he does have a strong arm as well. And his ability to make plays when chaos is happening, and throw the ball on the run is very good. I mean, it's phenomenal. It really is. It's amazing. But my issues after that would be it's a freewheeling offense. He's dangerous. He's sloppy. He sees the field the worst out of all of them.
Really?
Yes.
Worst vision.
Worst vision, yes. Gets a lot of easy completions, makes some impressive throws. Don't get to see as many pro-style throws as the other quarterbacks. Can barely tell you how many times I saw a comeback or a deep out thrown.
Like a real strong 15-yard, like
out
NFL
route.
arm.
Right. I want to see that. I think he can do it, but I just didn't get to see it. And I have questions about his ability to consistently do that because of that motion. And I have questions also.
Because it's so elongated.
It's so elongated. The other thing, too, in the NFL, how many times have we watched like Aaron Rodgers or Brady in the pocket, and they want to throw the first guy, and they cock it back to throw it, and they go, oh, I don't like it. And then the second guy, they cock it, oh, I don't like it, and they go to the third guy. I question him being able to cock the ball like that with his motion, which he does, which also becomes a huge issue because it just dangles there, and that's why he led football in fumbles this year. He led
That's why I'm surprised you have him above. What was your big question, though, for Darnold?
My big question is the motion, and can he consistently throw the ball with accuracy in the NFL? You know, he got to throw to a lot of open receivers at USC, certainly, and he's more times than not had the better team on the field. But the arm strength is pretty legit. He can really throw it, and he does not lose control of the ball as much as I thought. He really does. He throws good spirals. Now, things that concern me, he throws a really old football. I saw it when I was in Notre Dame in person.
What does that mean?
Well, it's like he's throwing a football that I think your dad threw in 1994.
You're talking about the actual football.
The actual ball. That bothers me. And when you're throwing
How is he allowed to do that?
Because college doesn't have rules like that.
So he's just like packing it in a backpack and going, this is my
right.
old trusty football?
Exactly right.
Does the other team use that football too?
No. So it's right. He gets to use a ball that it
Well,
looks like it's 10 years old.
Size, it ends up being like a 9.
Right, and that could be an issue, certainly. And I would think that's why he's not throwing at the combine, because he's trying to work on his new throwing motion, if you've seen that.
So you went and saw him and went, that ball looks old?
I always look at stuff like I used to grab the opposing team's footballs and when they're because we'd have a ball boy of their team on our sideline, and I'd go, well, let me see
how they like their ball.
Let me see, how does Brett Favre like his ball? And they'd go, oh, what do you think? And God, let me see. What is the quarterback for the Raiders that one year we played the Raiders? It wasn't even up to the quarterback. It was on Al Davis, how he liked the footballs. That's how they had to play. And the ball boy wore stickum gloves to keep the ball sticky. It was hilarious.
So you saw Sam Darnold's ball and went, oh, wow, this is questionable.
Yeah, whenever you use that old of a ball, I question whether you're questioning whether how good you can grip the ball.
Because that's what they always say.
Right.
They want to rough up the balls for the Super Bowl because they're all shiny and slick.
Right.
And big hands can grip it. Smaller hands need to tear it up a little bit.
Have an issue. So, there's so much more I have written here, but I think the other thing, too, his body, I don't like his body. You've heard me say that. I mean, when you're supposed to be the top 10 pick of the NFL draft or whatever it may be, his body doesn't look the part to me, and that bothers me to a degree. But his athleticism is real. Bottom line, kid is a player. As much as I don't like his body or his motion, he's a good athlete who makes a lot of big-time throws and plays. From guys I had watched to that point, he sees the field the worst from the pocket. Other thing I question in the NFL, when he's in the pocket and he has to recock it 2 or 3 times, can he still be a consistent and accurate thrower of the football? Fumbles will be an issue with this motion.
Yeah. So you're going to have him 4 and Rosen 5 in the Lefkoe rankings, which are based solely off of your analysis.
Right.
I'm going to flip those two.
I'm not so sure if they're not either.
Because I just listened to you, and Rosen, your one knock is I don't know if Rosen can run at all.
Right.
But we've said that about other quarterbacks.
We have.
If you're the most accurate passer in the group.
Yes, but when you can't run or move at all in college football, it's only going to get exemplified in the NFL. So that's what scares me too, just from that.
He just used exemplified.
Exemplified.
Magnified.
Nah, sorry.
All right, no, but exemplified's good. I just so you start whipping out words, and I don't know who you're talking to. I feel like you're cheating on me. So you have Rosen at 5, Darnold at 4.
Very torn there.
So they're tight.
Very tight.
So are there tiers? Is that are those two in the same tier, and these next guys are in a different tier?
Yeah, I put these guys in a tier above them.
So you have Rosen and Darnold, the 2 guys before the season that were the locks.
Right.
They're 4 and 5.
Yeah.
Now it's to the next tier.
Gosh, I don't even know. I'm literally sitting here going, who am I going to make 3? That's how close this is.
And Chris Simms, number 3, after watching 3 games of every quarterback, the top 5 quarterbacks perceived to be in the NFL draft, number 3 is...
I think I'm going to make number 3 Baker Mayfield.
Wow. I I think Connor nailed it then. I think Connor predicted exactly what you were going to do. So Baker Mayfield. So Baker, and I don't know who's two.
And there's a lot to like. Let me just tell you.
Let's start off. Let's start the positives of Baker. Your number 3 QB.
There is a lot.
The guy that you said during the year reminded you of Russell Wilson.
Yes.
You've been saying that since September.
Yes. Now, he's not as fast as Russell Wilson. That's one thing I can take away from that. Like speed-wise, of course, he's not as fast as Lamar Jackson. And I think in the 40, I think Josh Allen will beat Baker Mayfield too. It'll be close.
It's going to be fun to watch.
But it's still. Mayfield is an elite thrower of the football. An elite.
We're talking arm strength?
Talking big-time arm, big-time accuracy, big-time whatever you want. He's a natural-born thrower of the football, as you know I like that phrase.
Not a lot of guys on earth that can do it.
He can just pick up a ball. I don't give a shit if it's round, square, rectangle. He's going to be able to throw it. Man, I don't even know where to start. He's an incredible player. He's got a great knack. He's better in the pocket than I gave him credit for. He really doesn't miss a throw, very rarely. Deep ball, short throw, over the middle, everything. He's going to hit it. He, of course, moves well outside of the pocket, too. He's not as fast as I thought, like I said, but he's still fast, and he's still going to be able to scramble and make plays and
pick
do
up
that.
First downs.
But he is great in the pocket and moving around like a Darnold when chaos is around them, being able to still see downfield while they're dodging the defensive tackle. And I get that's
funny. I'm already hearing people say Baker's going to have a hard time with vision in the pocket.
Now that would be if we got into the negatives, that's going to be an issue.
Well, keep with the positives.
Okay,
first.
the positives, though, all of that are decision making. I thought was all top.
Sounds like you enjoyed watching the film.
I did enjoy watching it. Now I think some of it's a little unrealistic. I mean, it's Oklahoma. Now, they did have the best players on the field in every game in the Big 12, for sure. And the Big 12 lends itself to a game that favors Baker Mayfield. It's wide open. The passing lanes open up.
We've seen this issue with Big 12 quarterbacks before.
Exactly right. So all that, I go, damn, that concerns me. Yes, his size is concerning. It is. That would be the number one flaw. As much as I think, there's a pretty good chance he'll overcome it, it still scares me a little. Because there's moments, and my dad mentioned the Georgia game, like him he didn't come through in the clutch. He came through in the clutch a little bit.
Yeah, that was the game you said you really wanted to watch.
And that's the game I watched the closest, right? And I try to basically watch out of all three. I go to games, like I look at the stats a little bit before I watch the games and pick them out what I'm going to watch. Quality of the opponent, stats, and really that's it. And then I'm just going to go for my games from there. So for Baker Mayfield, I picked Ohio State, Georgia, and TCU. Georgia game is a hair concerning. He got lucky to where he got Ohio State early in the year. But Georgia game showed me the issues that you would be concerned with. Because once Kirby Smart got a feel for that offense and he took away the first option and they basically stopped we're not just going to go balls out and rush him. We're going to kind of just try to collapse the pocket.
Because that's the fear.
He played small, and he's not, I don't know if he's going to be able to necessarily always sit in there against certain teams in the NFL and go, the first guy's not there. Can I throw the deep in cut, which is my number 2 read, down the middle of the field? Is he going to be able to see it? Is he going to get it over them? He plays small from that perspective, but at the end of the day, he's a really, really awesome player. And you can make an argument he's number 1. I can sit here right now.
That Ohio State game, I remember, that was incredible.
Incredible. And again, he gets a lot of easy completions.
Right. Well, that's the problem with these offenses, especially like you just said, like Darnold and USC, Mayfield and Oklahoma, 2 good offensive coaches with a lot of weapons on the field and good offensive lines. Like Oklahoma and USC have the linemen.
Yes, right. And then Rosen, when you talk about him, they have some weapons, but nothing great.
Nothing like those guys had.
And they really run a pro offense. That's the other thing that'll be a positive.
It's more comfortable.
It really will be.
What was your bottom line for
Bottom line.
Baker?
You know what I realized? I don't think I have a bottom line for Lamar Jackson, but either way, here we go. Bottom line. Kid is a baller. Really gifted, big-time natural thrower of the football, and is a big-time playmaker who sees the field really well, can make plays with his feet, running or throwing on the run. Big question, size is a little worrisome. Georgia game shows that also have to take into account Georgia game shows that I can't remember what I wrote here. Georgia game shows that also have to take with. I guess I was starting to say you have to take that into account, the Georgia game. It's a little concerning there. Offense leads to good QB play, has NFL talent around him, and was clearly best team in the Big 12. Even with all that, a lot of really impressive throws. I'm just not I guess the last thing I wrote is realistic NFL ones were not as many as I would have expected.
Gotcha.
Right.
So it sounds like you didn't see a ton of big-time pro throws from either 4 or 3. Baker or Darnold, you were left going, I see some, but I would like to see a lot more on a consistent basis.
Right. Well, they were different in different ways, okay? So Mayfield, I saw the big-time throws. Like, he threw comebacks and deep posts.
Oh, he had those routes.
He threw them.
But they were just open.
Exactly. So it was different. I got to see him do it, but those routes in the NFL are like Tom Brady in Super Bowl 51, where we went back and watched the game. You go, damn, I didn't realize Brady threw so many 15-yard comebacks where like the DB was all fucking over the receiver, and he hummed it in there on the outside shoulder of the receiver. I think those are the things I miss.
The shit that I like that we're doing right now is I think people that are listening can hear, oh, wow. So you have some guys that have the talent, but weren't up against the right teams or weren't asked to do the same thing. And then you have other guys like Rosen who were asked to do everything you want, but there were some holes there. And it's, how do you know if a guy can do it just like Rosen can? This is what GMs go through.
Right.
Your number 2 quarterback after watching 3 games is?
I'm going to go Josh Allen.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not going to lie. I took my headphones off. I was doing this entire segment thinking in my head, you're going Josh Allen 1 and you're going Lamar Jackson 1. I don't have my headphones on.
I know you don't.
I am shocked.
Yeah.
This is why you were so excited to do this?
I'm shocked too. I'm shocked. I am.
I thought you...
I didn't expect it. Like my dad says, he goes into it, everyone going, I hate the guy. I just try to go into clean slate. I don't sit there and go, I hate this guy. He's got to prove me he's good.
All right.
All right, start with Josh Allen first. Calm down.
Of course. You were on Josh Allen before the year.
He could be my number 1.
Okay,
I gotta watch more.
That's right. So you see Allen and Lamar on one plane, Mayfield and no.
I think I see. I'm gonna see Allen, Lamar, and Lamar
Mayfield.
Jackson, Allen, and Mayfield. I see on the same.
So that's your top 3.
Yeah.
And then, so you don't think that top 3 will change?
I know that my top 3 will not change. Yes.
And the bottom 2 could rotate.
Exactly.
Interesting. All right. Josh Allen, we know you love his size, you love his measurables, you love his arm.
Yeah.
What did the film show you for those 3 games?
I mean, arm
Who'd you watch?
I watched. Oh gosh, it was
Iowa.
Yeah, Iowa. Hold on, Iowa.
When he stiff-armed that D lineman?
Yeah, hold on. I got to pull up the schedule because there were some ugly teams.
Which is the issue with Josh Allen.
It is. Hold on, damn it. Hold on one second.
You don't need to tell me.
Okay, I don't. Well, I got to look now. So now you've questioned me.
Now it's in your head.
Yeah, I just want to make sure I say the right ones here so I don't totally sound like an idiot. Okay, I'll tell you what I watched. I watched Texas State, which was a blowout. But you got to see games where he throws the ball a whole lot.
Right.
Okay? So I watched that. I watched damn, which one's it?
I'm just shocked right now.
Yeah, I know you are. Hold on.
Texas
I watched
State,
that.
Iowa.
New Mexico. And my third one was a really Boise State. Okay, so Boise State, he was 12 for 27 with 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. Okay, so those are my 3 games.
So let's go through the positives of Josh Allen.
Positives.
You love this.
The fucking arm is unreal. It's the strongest arm ever.
Wait.
Yes, just
stronger than Patrick Mahomes.
And he wants to throw it as hard as he can. If they sat there right next to each other and said, we're going to throw a 20-yard ball as hard as we can, I think Josh Allen could probably throw it harder than Patrick Mahomes.
Wow.
Yes. It is.
Because your respect for Patrick Mahomes' arm is uncapped.
No, he's not as a good all-around thrower as Mahomes.
Right.
And I don't know if he can launch it as far as Mahomes. But I'm just telling you, he did throw the ball 66 miles per hour at the NFL, at the Senior Bowl.
Yeah.
I've never seen that on the radar gun for a football. Never. I've never seen anybody throw
What did you throw?
Like 60, 59, something like that?
And he was 66.
Right. I mean, that's remarkable.
All right, keep going through the positives.
So the positives, great size, phenomenal athlete, can throw some throws where you just are jaw-dropping. You're just like, holy shit, I can't even see the ball on the screen. Like,
he can run.
He can really run. I mean, out of the group, he's the second best runner to me. He is a legit runner. He's a better runner than Carson Wentz was.
Right.
I mean, we worry about, that's what drives me crazy. We worry about competition level, with Carson Wentz, and we see he was. Well, this kid's played against better competition than Carson Wentz did. This is Division I football. Yeah. Carson Wentz was 1AA. So we've seen it. So I'm sick of that bullshit theory there. Okay? Now, So all that really good. Pro-style offense. Throws, he's got to make throws. There's nothing easy. He doesn't ever get an easy throw.
And I can't imagine he's got a lot of talent on that team either.
So let's go there. So now let's start to knock those, because these are the things that bother me. First of all, there's no talent on the team. He had the worst talent around him out of all these quarterbacks. It's not even close. If I watched him throw 100 footballs, he got hit on 90 of them. He was under pressure the whole fucking season,
so
from what I saw.
when people say, but he never threw 60% completion percentage.
Oh, okay, yeah. So this is what I'm going to say. Show me 5 plays where his receivers were open this year, okay? Show me some easy throws. He plays in fucking Wyoming. Do you know that fucking weird the weather is out there and shit?
I've never been.
Yeah, it's crazy, okay? So you have to be a elite thrower of the football to even play out there and do that.
Sure.
So the offense doesn't lend itself to that. Okay, it just doesn't. They never get open. He never gets. I watched 3 games. I think I saw 2 screen passes. Okay.
Oh, so they're not dialing up easy throws for him either.
No, he doesn't get any of that. Everything is 15-yard comeback. The easiest throws he gets is a slant. I mean, that's it. Other than that, he's got to throw it in there.
But he's throwing from one hash to the opposite hash like it's no problem.
And none of that is even an issue. Now, the flaws are, can he lose control of the ball at times? Certainly. Yes. He's a little more raw than I thought going into this.
Oh, really?
Yes. He lets his arm get a little too long, short passes. He's a little too inaccurate at times. He can't figure it out, and hopefully he will with working out in this offseason. But throwing the check downs to the backs or little shallow crossers.
So touch is somewhat of an issue.
He just makes it up. Yeah, he tries to do it all arm, and he doesn't understand how to incorporate his body with it yet.
You've said this before. Some quarterbacks, different kind of throws. They use different kind of arms. You want to see the same repetitive motion.
Well, I mean, yes, you have to have something at first to build off of. You can't just make it up all the time.
Right.
Aaron Rodgers was a machine at first, and then he went, okay, I got the machine part down. Let me start tinkering with sidearm. Right, so he doesn't have that down. But, yes, so I just wanted to say all that. Now, he's going to be a factor in the run game. He's big. He's strong. He can throw with people on him, around him, on the run, phenomenal. Touch passes, yeah, he needs to work on it a little bit. He can throw deep touch passes. Like if he wants to throw like a 20-yard out route, he can throw it. But if he has to throw like the 6-yard fade route from the 5-yard line in the end zone, he just makes it up. And the ball, he loses control of it, and the ball just flutters up in the air. And those are things, that goes back to the short throwing. It's throwing a quick fade in the end zone is like throwing a check down to the back. You almost have to have the same type of technique. But bottom line, big-time talent on a team who was not good enough around him to show all that he can do. No easy throws, no talent at wide receiver. O-line was horrible. His physical ability is off the charts. His arm is as big as I've ever seen, but there are a few mechanical issues. Nothing major, though. He's just a little raw. Yes, big arm, but not as gifted and as a all-around passer as a Mahomes or a Wentz.
Gotcha.
That's what I wrote.
And now?
Listen, I'm telling you, I didn't expect this.
Where did you think Lamar was going to rank?
Somewhere between 3 and 5.
And he's number 1.
I mean, let me just say this.
You could say whatever you want.
Yeah, you're right. First of all, I have the least questions about Lamar Jackson. You get to see everything over the last 2 years, and I'm going to watch more. But what are the questions? Played against big-time talent. Seen him step on the pedal and throw the 100-mile-per-hour fastball. Seen him throw the touch. Seen him be durable. Seen him play against any type of team, whatever. There's no questions about Lamar. So let's just start there.
Right.
Only thing I hear is he's frail. He should move to receiver, which is now is truly the dumbest fucking thing I've ever heard.
Oh, now you're really upset with Bill Polian.
I don't even know what to say. It makes me want to say really mean things. It makes me think he's mean. That's what it really, if you can read between the lines of what I'm saying.
So you watched 3 games and went, I can't even believe that was even said on air. Wow.
The year after Deshaun Watson, I think, is where, again, I know I said this last week, but that's where it has to start, where I go, wait, so you don't think that Clemson would have won the national championship with Lamar Jackson at quarterback? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Yes, they would have.
So you obviously had some good games. You probably got the Clemson game in there, Florida State.
Clemson game. I watched Clemson. I watched Boston College. I wanted to watch, because all other thing is we're not sure how he can process information, right? Which also is a mean thing to say. So I watched 2 teams where I was like, they do some stuff on defense. Clemson's not like the old Clemson from 6 years ago where I used to make fun of them and go like, they don't do anything and they just rely on their athletes. They coach now. They got so Boston College and Clemson do some different things on defense.
Different looks and disguises.
More
and stuff
complex
like that.
defenses than you would see in most of college football.
Okay.
And, yeah, was it pretty all the time? No. But the decision-making is pretty damn good. I mean, it's very good, actually. He plays the position the right way. He knows how to throw it away when he has to. He doesn't take stupid sacks like you see scrambling quarterbacks do a lot. Did he take a few? Certainly. But there was a few other ones where I said, damn, he's going to get sacked, and he broke out and he ran for 70 yards. So you got to live and die with that a little bit at times, right?
Yeah.
Every throw in the book, slam dunk. The running is the best running I've ever seen from a quarterback other than Michael Vick. He's better runner than Vince Young or RG3, and it's not even close. This kid is not just a straight-ahead runner. He's like Michael Vick. If you're one-on-one with him, he could break your ankles. He could break two people's ankles at the same time. He is that gifted of a runner. So I watched those two games, and then I watched Kentucky game where it was kind of easy. But regardless, it doesn't matter. I watched other games from the other guys where it was easy too. I'm just more impressed not only with his toughness, his feel in the pocket, and his ability to make all throws. And I would say as a pure thrower, and I say total thrower, passer, everything, him, Mayfield, and Rosen are the best throwers. Where I just
Allen or Rosen?
No, Rosen. Where I just say like every throw under the book, passer, thrower, touch, get it out of your hand
just
quick. Complete quarterback. What we're thinking, like a complete. If he's a real surgeon, he can just do it all, right?
Yeah.
And this is a guy that, from the throwing aspect, can do it all.
Wow.
If you're running for 70 yards against Clemson, you're going to run for 70 yards in times in the NFL too. He's faster than the Deshaun Watson. I'd be shocked if he run. I mean, he's going to run 4.5. We know that. I would think with actually thinking about training here, I don't know. On film, I would think he's gonna run low 4.4.
Wow.
I would think that. He might even be insane and run a 4.3. I don't know. But I didn't write a bottom line here because I got Cam killed us. Cameron killed us, all that. But I just can't tell you that.
What is your question for him?
That's what I started off by saying. I don't have a question. Wow. He's the one guy. I really don't have a question. You get to see him run pro-style schemes. You know, I've heard some people go, oh, well, you know.
Yeah, Petrino can make it easy for you.
Petrino can make it easy for you. Yeah, certainly. But I could also argue, well, he's getting to run a lot of NFL-type concepts, too. And you know what? Petrino, did he make it easy on him? Wasn't any easier than Baker Mayfield at Oklahoma. I didn't see him going like Baker Mayfield threw to the most wide-open receivers out of all of them.
Okay.
But I got to see enough throws to just go, it doesn't really matter. This kid can throw it, and if you're covering him, he can put it on the money. Lamar Jackson, I got to see plenty of that. They weren't great, Louisville, this year. He would sit in the pocket and go through reads and throw the in-cut over the middle where the guy was, first read wasn't open. Second read, I don't like it. Third read is the in-cut over the middle. And he'd throw it on the dimes. So I don't know what to say.
Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen. That is the current edition of the Simms Top 5.
Yeah.
He has given the precursor that Jackson, Allen, and Mayfield are on Tier 1. Darnold and Rosen are on Tier 2.
Yeah.
Those guys could flip within their tiers.
Right.
But you believe there is a top 3. All 3 could go in the top 10.
Yeah.
You could probably get 4 of these guys going in the top 10 if teams start trading up.
I mean, it's really going to be dependent on.
You think they're all first-round picks?
Oh, that's not even no doubt about it.
You see talent in all of them.
Yes.
How many of these guys are better than Jared Goff? Are you about to say all of them?
Pretty close.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So this is going to be a great draft.
Yeah. It really is. Because I do think it's going to be beauty in the eye of the beholder more than ever before, more than we've ever seen before.
So Josh Rosen, you see all of the throws. He's the best thrower, it seems like one of the best throwers, but his athleticism scares you.
It does.
Sam Darnold, the amount of talent he had on his team and the easy completions,
and just the backyard type of football play, right? I didn't get to see a whole lot of pro concepts. With Sam Darnold, it was either easy completions like shallow crosses, screens, wide receiver screens, or a fade down or a go route down the sideline.
And you are a little bit afraid of his motion, but you do think he's a baller.
I do.
Baker Mayfield can make all the throws.
Yeah.
The problem is at Oklahoma, all the throws were wide open.
Yeah.
Big 12 is a little bit tough to check competition. You're not that afraid of him in the pocket anymore. However, you do have some questions when it comes to accuracy.
Well, just his ability, if the game became a pocket game and he just had a game where...
And they did a mush rush and they only brought 3 and dropped 8.
Right.
How is he going to do in that situation?
Exactly right.
Which, look, we complain about it all the time.
Yeah.
Only Belichick remembers to do that.
A lot of times.
Josh Allen, you see the strongest arm you've ever seen.
Yeah.
Really good athlete. You're concerned there. He doesn't have touch on fades and plays out of the backfield like wheel routes, and he doesn't seem like the best quarterback right now, but he might be the best raw person to mold if you have time.
Right. Like he, if you made me say who has the highest ceiling,
you still might take Lamar.
It's between him or Lamar, though.
And then Lamar Jackson right now you're seeing as a guy that's run a pro-style offense, can complete all the throws. The durability is not an issue. He doesn't need to go to wide receiver. He has one of the stronger arms. Is he second to Josh Allen?
Yeah, his arm strength, yes.
And then accuracy.
Accuracy, if I had to rank him accurate-wise, I'm going to go Rosen 1, just from accurate-wise, to Mayfield 2, really close with Lamar Jackson.
Gotcha.
Like it's really close. I would probably go Mayfield 2, Jackson 3, but it's like if you showed me 2 other games, and I could flip that around there.
All right, so he's watched 3 games of each, and it goes Lamar, Josh, Baker, Sam, Josh. Damn it. Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Josh Rosen. You're surprised. I'm surprised. I'm sure the fans are surprised.
I'm surprised, man. Again, I turned it on, and I just kept watching and going like, damn, what's not to like? I don't understand it. Perfect throwing motion, spirals every play, great deep ball thrower, can get the ball out of his hands quick, can run, stays in the pocket, can go through reads, plays the position too physical, like Carson Wentz when I said he was coming out, like he might get hurt if he plays it that way. He's got to do the same thing. Like he's not afraid to lower his shoulder against linebackers, and I want to be like, dude, fucking chill out.
In the next few weeks, we are actually going to turn this studio into a film room set, and we're going to have Simms actually break down the film of these to show these examples. Be on the lookout for that. Guys, subscribe to the newsletter, because what we're going to do is that's where we're going to put all the extra videos. I'm going to put
I didn't know we
notes.
had one, and so my wife told me last night.
Oh, she subscribed. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, make sure that you go there and subscribe. I'll tweet it out again. We're going to do more iTunes comments next week. We got to get to Cam. We had a long conversation with Cameron about basketball, football, and he refused to call your dad big fucker because he has too much respect for Phil Simms.
How about he didn't even know that I was Phil Simms' son?
It's great.
That's
it's
great.
like a running joke.
With the word Simms behind his head.
No, but he was. And then on Friday, I sat down and had a conversation with Ryan Holiday, the author of many books, including Obstacle is the Way, Ego is the Enemy, which we featured here, and his newest book, Conspiracy, which is out. So that will be a Friday conversation coming out then. I feel good ending here. Coming up next is Cameron. As always, hit us up on social at Simms Lefkoe, and make sure to look out for that newsletter. Trust me, that's where we're going to go. For Simms.
Peace out, homies.
Fendrick would say good evening. Good evening. Lamar Jackson. And I am the Lefkoe.
Man.
And I want you to know, we ain't never going to steer you wrong, because we always bring the truth. Simms Lefkoe. Holler at you soon. We have been talking for a while that we have a surprise NBA analyst guest. Yeah. And now it is time to bring him on. He beat Lincoln High and Steph Murray to go to the city championship. I'm talking about the man that grew up with Sham God.
Steph
I'm talking
Marbury,
about.
you mean.
That's what I said.
Yeah, you said Steph Murray, but go
Damn,
ahead.
Steph Murray. Steph Marbury. I'm talking about he brought the NBA fashion to hip hop from 140th and Lex. Killer Cameron.
I'm actually from 140th and Lennox. You make a couple mistakes.
I'm 0 for 2.
Set his ass straight, Cam.
Yeah, so here's the rule. You can say what the fuck you want to me and send me straight. I don't care. It's worth it.
Nah, but thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. But it's a pleasure to be here.
Dude, we got the Diplomats chain.
Wait, but before you came up here, they said you were outside having a smoke. Like, what were you smoking? Cigarettes
Anything
or that
good?
good stuff?
Not cigarettes.
Okay,
Yes.
good.
But just
No,
Allegedly, some other stuff.
Yeah, just,
No, we
we'll
support
say
the other
cigarettes.
stuff.
I wish I would have been there with you.
Yeah.
Thanks for the invite. Thanks a lot.
Next time.
All right.
All right, so it's so funny, man. When everyone heard that you were coming, they said, man, you got to talk to him about ball. I said, no, he's going to be our NBA analyst. This is it.
Absolutely.
But what was your move? Like my move when I played, and I wasn't that great, was the up and under.
The McHale move?
Yeah, but I was
typical white man and unathletic move.
What was your move?
Well, I had pretty much an up fake. If I knock down 2 jump shots, then you can up fake. Like,
yeah, you set them up for it.
I always talk about that. Like Steph Curry could probably be the king of that move,
right?
If he wanted to.
Because his shot's so deadly.
Yeah, everybody. If he fakes a jump shot, everybody's going to jump.
He could do the Sam Cassell, get him up, draw a foul.
Exactly, but not even Sam Cassell. Like mine was a little better, you know.
Really?
Yeah, well, it was pretty special.
Well, I was reading some articles that said you were like a defensive stopper.
Yeah.
So how would you defend Steph Curry?
It's pretty hard. I haven't seen anybody really
like
been able to do it. Yeah, it's pretty hard, man. This guy shoots from a lot of places. That's why I was saying if he adds that to his arsenal, I don't really know anybody that's going to
Wait, but I got to go back to like, what high school did you go to?
Manhattan Center.
Well, how old are you?
42. I just turned 42 last week.
Happy birthday.
Okay, I'm 37. I know. I was just trying to remember if I could remember it. So you guys beat Lincoln High School?
Yes.
In the state championship game?
Semifinals.
Semifinal.
Yeah, to go to the championship.
Damn, I did not know that.
Yep.
I had no idea. I knew you played ball. I just didn't know that you were a part of like a special team. Because for all those out there listening, like
Mace
Lincoln
was
High
on his
School.
Mace was on his team.
Are you kidding me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I had no fucking clue. No,
Glad
just
you
shows
got
you.
prepared
I
for the
know
interview.
him and his music. I didn't
yours
Google
right.
him before he came in. Sorry, I didn't want to. I know enough about him.
well,
I grew up listening to you.
So I appreciate it.
So Chris grew up. His dad's Phil Simms, quarterback of the Giants.
He looks like Phil Simms now. That you
See,
mention
you
that.
didn't know him either.
I knew he didn't know me. I knew he didn't.
Well, I like Phil Simms, big Phil Simms
Big
fan.
Phil, big fucker.
Yeah, we
That's
call
what
him
we
Big
call him.
Fucker.
So go ahead.
Nah, I'm big Phil.
All right.
Phil Simms fan. I like Phil.
But it's funny because he grew up. He was like the #1 quarterback in Jersey. You were doing your thing in New York basketball.
Yeah. Think about, at that era, I was a big Washington Redskins fan, so
Okay.
I was mad at Lawrence Taylor like for messing Joe Theismann's
Leg
career
up.
up forever, man. So.
Yeah.
But tell your father congratulations on all his achievements, and he's still in a lot doing
Yeah,
English.
he's still talking his big
Right.
mouth.
He'll
Yeah,
be
he's
on with
still-
us
he's
in
still-
about an hour.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's coming on here for a little bit.
Good.
Yeah.
All right, so I think if we're going to make you the NBA analyst,
Okay.
I need to know where you stand on a few topics. So first,
Please.
it's the topic of the last frickin' 10 years, LeBron and Michael.
Okay.
Where does Cameron stand on LeBron and Michael?
Good place to start.
On who's better?
Yeah, I would say that.
I don't really think anybody's better than Michael Jordan.
Agreed.
Basically, because LeBron is achieving all these stats lately, even like last year, going to 7 straight NBA finals. LeBron is great, and what he's done for the game for the last 15 years is great. But I just don't think it's fair for anybody to compare themselves to Michael Jordan, because in my book, I always tell everybody Michael Jordan has 8 rings.
Yeah.
Minimum 8 rings, because nobody was going to high school from college back then. It wasn't a one-and-done situation.
Right.
Most of the time, you stayed till you was a senior in college.
Right.
So we're going to leave 3 years for Michael Jordan not going to the NBA from high school or even being a one-and-done. Then I still to this day haven't seen anybody say, you know what, I'm just really too good for this sport. I'm going to go try another profession.
Right.
And take 2 years off.
Right.
And then come back and pick up exactly
the man.
where you
Right.
left off at. So you got 2 years to account for that. And then the year after that, they couldn't get Phil Jackson's contract together after the 98 championship.
Right.
They may have won it in 99 also. So I give Michael Jordan, in my book, 8 championships, and that's just my opinion, but it's just not fair to compare anybody to Michael Jordan until you take 2 years off and try and play hockey or golf or ping pong or pool and pick up where you left off. I can't compare.
But you make
anybody to that.
all right. So who's your number 2 though? Just would LeBron be your 2? Because I'm with you with Michael. I'm right there with you.
Yeah,
There's nobody I'm putting above Michael.
Right.
I love LeBron. I'm wearing soldiers right now.
Right. I would say, the thing about it is it's pretty tough.
Yeah.
I would definitely say LeBron, but I don't want to necessarily say LeBron because it's 2 different eras. I think that a lot of fans these days don't get the gist of what you could get on YouTube of what actually was going on. I'm old enough to have seen it.
Right.
I'm old enough to see Michael Jordan get beat up by the bad boy
Right.
Pistons.
We're prime Jordan fans.
Or when maybe Robert Parrish and whoever on
Celtics.
Bill Laimbeer
Yeah.
fought.
Yeah,
like
right.
it's a different NBA now. If somebody says, "Hey, it's a Oh my God, you're falling out. Exactly.
So when you see Zaza Pachulia doing what he did, how would that have been handled in the era we're talking about? And then also, how would you have handled it? Let's say we're playing it in New York and someone does that. How are you handling that?
Well, he's a pretty good camouflager. The thing he did with Russell Westbrook the other day was pretty. That wasn't camouflage at all. Yeah, it was blatant. I mean, even with like Kawhi Leonard,
was camouflage
he tried
too,
to camouflage.
but
but it's like
stepping into the shot.
Yeah, but
fuck him. I don't like that shit.
Yeah,
I can't.
Yeah, I don't like him either.
Yeah.
I really don't. But we haven't seen Kawhi since. So, you know what I mean? Basically, we've seen him 8-9 games this season, whatever it is.
Right.
But I don't think that it's dope. But I don't think it's cool a little bit. But in that era, I don't even think Zaza would be able
to do that shit, right?
Not just do it. I don't think he would be playing right now because the retaliation.
They would have punched him in the face or clotheslined him.
He would have been out for the season
right.
already from another injury that somebody applied to him.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, the retaliation factor was pretty big in that era. So.
The crazy thing for me is he's on this team that preaches like sharing the ball and the incredible team, and to allow someone on the same team to act that way. Like Steve Kerr just doesn't seem like a dude.
Him though. He adds a little like him and Draymond they're two tough guys, right?
Right.
Even though he crosses the line. Yeah. Well, Draymond plays the game tough the right way.
Right. Exactly.
This guy's playing tough the cheap way.
If it was hockey, he's like the goon.
He is the goon.
You know
he is the goon.
Yeah.
You go to the bench. Let's say Cameron is playing for the Los Angeles Lakers.
Okay.
Could you handle someone like LaVar Ball not on the team but constantly commenting on the team while you're on the team?
What
do you mean when he's injured?
So Lonzo Ball's on the team. LaVar Ball, his dad,
he's in the front row.
Yeah, constantly going to the media and stuff.
Pardon me. I'm thinking when you say LaVar, I'm thinking Lonzo.
Yeah,
I apologize.
They are intertwined.
Yeah. Tell me about it. To me, it's all you guys' fault.
Because here's my thing. Yeah,
you know, you guys give this guy the publicity.
That's right. We had him on this fucking podcast.
We did, didn't we?
Yeah, we are those assholes.
Because I like what LaVar Ball stands for.
Right.
We are in this era right now with 4-4-4 and LaVar Ball and everyone doing it their way and getting their big piece of the pie, and you know all about that, and I respect that.
Thank you.
It's the constant talking about other people's money when you're in a team environment that's when it gets fucked up.
Right.
And that's,
I
don't know.
I never really heard him talk about other people's money. I just heard him talk about
the coaching.
Yeah. I hear him talking about my sons. All three of my sons have to play for the Lakers.
Yeah.
Maybe, basically, going at the Laker organization. But this guy pretty much walks the beat of his own drum because, to me, what he's been doing has been working, and now to certain people it may become overwhelming.
Right.
But or it's threatening to them.
Yeah, but it's been working for him thus far. Even last summer in the summer league, he pulled his team off the court because the referees weren't doing things right.
Right, they didn't feel his team was being protected.
Right, and then what they do, they told him to change. He said, change the refs.
Right.
Or we're not going to.
We're out of here.
We're out of here, and they changed the refs.
Yeah, no, there's things I admire.
He hasn't lost a lot.
But then there's things I can't stand about him.
No, that particular situation is you're giving him the power to maneuver the way he's moving. You know, and then with all the media behind it, it's like, why not keep doing what I'm doing? He gets probably $1 million of press a week that somebody would pay for free.
Well, you guys owned so much of the press for so long when you guys were like, man, Dipset, holy crap.
In the prime.
It was unbelievable.
Thank you.
What is it like when you're riding that wave and you don't even need to try for press? It's just there.
Well, with us, we did a lot of guerrilla marketing. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is pre-internet, maybe a few years before the internet exploded. And we really prided on being where we say we were going to be. So we're saying, oh man, we have a restaurant in Ohio.
Right.
We really would be in Ohio at our restaurant. Or if we had a club in Houston, we would really be at our club in Houston.
Right.
So, New York is always everywhere but to actually be out and touch the people and build rapport and relationships with these type of people.
You did it from the ground up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure.
So a lot of people respected that, and that's why we got so much love around the country, because we came in at a time where New York, not necessarily, I don't want to say was isolated, but it kind of was because, a lot of different states, not now, but was saying that New York gave people their ass to kiss in the beginning of the rap era. So when the South started popping and West Coast started popping,
Sure.
it was hard to get New York records played in other states, whether it be South, Midwest, West
St.
Coast.
Louis had a run. Yeah.
Yeah, because they just felt like, oh, when New York was popping, y'all
You
gave
didn't
us
give a
ass.
shit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so we had to really take it upon ourselves to go out to these places and incorporate ourselves with these people, let people know, look, we're not a part of the
Right.
people who didn't give a fuck about y'all.
Right.
I mean, there's so many things I want to
It was
ask
very
you.
diplomatic
That
of you.
There's so. Well, I'm interested just your take on the rap game in general and kind of where it was when you started out and where it is now. What annoys you about it? I mean, the fact that we got away from like gangster rap and
I saw
actually
Lil
talk, like,
Uzi Vert
that's
in
how
LA.
I grew
I saw
up.
him in concert, and I looked at my girlfriend and I said, "We're at a punk rock concert right now.
Right.
Like I don't even know if this is hip hop. I'm not mad at it. Like I want everyone to get their shine, but I was like, this is crazy. It was interesting.
Well, my opinion is this. You got to let this generation be this generation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we're older, so you don't want to sound like our parents sound.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
That is the scary
You really
thing.
listen to that stuff?
Yeah, like I don't even understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
And I believe every era you're going to say you miss it because you got to realize when you was growing up listening to our stuff or whatever it may be,
Right.
you was in a different place in your life.
You're definitely right.
You know what I'm saying? So now that you're older, you like the music that you listen to reminds you of the times that you had.
Right.
So you got to let this era grow up. You don't be like, oh, man, I don't know what's going on. And it may not be your choice of music, but you got to let your kids enjoy what they want to enjoy, or your little brothers or sisters, nieces and nephews, or whatever, because they're going to be like, you're going to be an old hag to them if you don't.
Yeah,
you know
you're
what I'm
right.
saying? So
Right.
you can tell them, check this out, or this is what it was. But 9 times out of 10, unless you're inheriting some money, you don't want to do what your parents are doing unless you're super cool parent. You know what I mean?
Right.
Will and Jaden Smith.
You just
type
told
stuff.
me you called
Big fucker.
Yeah,
Go ahead, call him.
Yeah,
call him. That's
I'm
all
not
right.
doing
You're
that.
allowed to. You're in New York. I'll let you. You're Jersey, New York. Where are you? You can do it.
I love Phil Simms. I'm not doing that.
That's amazing.
But you call your dad that. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day,
is it a dirty business though, rap business? Like that's what I was kind of getting at. Was it hard to find when you were making your way up and you were starting to get cash and be able to buy necklaces and chains and piece and chains and all that? I mean, is it the people that handle business with the production companies, all that? Are they dirty? Are they slime balls? What's
I feel
that
like it's a lot harder for the production now. I feel like guys can go independent.
I mean, well, to be honest, I learned the business getting jerked around my first 2 albums. You know, my first album, I sold my publishing, which is probably 80% of your money if you do the right deal. And then my second album is when I learned the business. But luckily, I grew up with a guy named Dame Dash.
Yeah, I know Dame.
Yeah, and he had Rockefeller with Jay-Z.
Yep.
And this was a longtime friend of mine. I'm talking about since I was 10, 11 years old.
Right.
And I was at a bad deal at Epic Records on Sony. And he was at Def Jam Rockefeller, and I told him my situation.
Right.
And he helped me get off that deal. And me being on a bad deal is when I learned what was going wrong in my deal. And then when I got to Rockefeller, he also taught me a lot of stuff to keep myself afloat and how to make real money.
Right.
But to be honest, getting jerked around my first album
Yeah.
was probably the best thing to do, because if you come out and sell 2 or 3 or 4, 5, 6 million records, your first album, you just think that's the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
I don't really want to name names because I'm cool with certain people, but I know a bunch of people who sold 3 million albums their first time,
Right.
and you haven't heard from them in the last 15 years.
Yeah, right.
Because they're just thinking that's the
Obstacle is the way, man.
Yeah.
If something happens and you turn that into success, it's like your ultimate success.
Exactly.
Yeah.
'Cause let me tell you something. If my first album came out and I sold 4 million records, I wouldn't have cared how it went. I was like,
Yes.
I sold, y'all keep doing what y'all doing. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny. I had an author in here, and he was talking about the New York bestsellers list could be the worst thing for a new author because they think they figured it out, and they ain't going to hustle after that.
There you go.
And it's the same thing with NBA players and NFL players.
Definitely.
That you talked about, you had a wide receiver on the Tampa Bay Bucks, had 80 receptions
Mike
his
Clayton,
first year.
rookie year. He was like, damn, this NFL stuff's easy. He was a first-round pick at LSU. Second, what did he do after the first year? He partied, he spent his cash, whatever. He didn't take care of himself. Second year he came out and it was like, damn, you're 20 pounds overweight. Like, what the fuck happened?
Right.
And of course, then Gruden's like, whoa, I can't design the whole playbook around you anymore because you can't get open.
Right.
And it changes your career.
Yeah.
And of course, they get better. He gets better at the coach, but you really want to look at him and go, dude, but you made this bed you're lying in.
It's a common human error.
Right.
It's hard not to get complacent.
Right.
Successful people cannot get complacent.
That's important.
But the problem is you got to do it every day.
That's a
And
fact.
that's the hard fucking shit to do.
Right.
But that's professional athletes. That's professional high-level music. I want to say that, speaking of Dame, I think it might be one of my top 5 favorite clips, the You Mad.
Oh, yeah.
Bill O'Reilly. Do you remember this?
I don't.
It's incredible to watch now.
Right.
Because it's incredible to see people
Because
talking
Bill
about.
O'Reilly's such a douche.
He's a douche.
I mean,
but no,
douche.
I mean, rap music though, they're like, I think the words you guys are saying. Like, you look at it now and you're like, that shit is so corny. Yeah. But you don't remember Bill O'Reilly was getting upset and Cam was like, you mad? Like, oh, it was the best.
Basically, I went on I didn't know anything about Bill O'Reilly.
Nor should you.
Yeah, my publicist set it up and he was like, this guy's a real asshole you're going to go see. I'm telling you. And I'm like, and I was like, I got the heads up, so now I have my asshole jacket on.
Yeah.
Pause.
Right.
And I went up there with that attitude because I already kind of knew the environment that I was stepping into.
Yeah.
So turned out being claclassic though.
It was a classic.
Oh, God, don't even get me started on those guys.
NBA right now,
Like
it
he
looks
tried
like
to change the subject. He's like,
he wants to go on global warming.
I
for
just
45 minutes. Seriously.
I just get so sick of those guys. Like, they
It's
piss me off.
agenda-driven nonsense. So NBA, it does seem like it's Warriors and everybody else.
Right.
Do you have faith in Houston? Do you think any of these other teams could even make it, or are we just watching the inevitable?
No, I don't think anybody else can make it. I really
sucks.
don't. You know, after Kevin Durant went there, I think it's just pretty much inevitable.
Checkmate.
Yeah, like I think Houston is good. I think they're really, really good this year. You know, because at the beginning of the season, a lot of people were saying they didn't think that Chris Paul and James Harden would work out together, being that they both liked out the ball. I think the project is going great. I think Trevor Ariza is great. I think Mike D'Antoni runs a high-level offense. But I just think that right now that Golden State is, and I hate to use it because everybody's saying it, but it's really the truth how I feel, is that they're really bored. You know, until it's time to turn.
That's why he's having his players coach the team sometimes. You got to wake these guys up.
Yeah, because, you know, I think that they feel, and this is the only thing that may be Golden State's downfall is what you were just talking about, is getting too complacent.
Yeah, right.
You don't want to get too complacent when then you're in a Game 7 and then you didn't win the Western Conference.
Right.
And you're not on your home floor for a Game 7 to go to the NBA championship.
Yeah.
You know, home court advantage is
real.
It's real. So basically, just don't get too complacent. I think they'll be fine. But I think
I can't stand them.
Yeah.
I can't stand them. I'm just mad ever since Kevin Durant went there. I mean, I just want to go, damn, you were the greatest team ever, and you lost to LeBron, and you got in the parking lot, and you guys all called Kevin Durant. We need you. We need your help. We just went 73-9, but we need your help.
And I love it.
That pissed me off.
I love it. Because if we're running fives, and the best team loses a guy because he's got to go to work, and they ask me to play, I'm going to take over the court.
Well, I think what Kevin Durant is this. He doesn't want to be, and
I think it's taken away from their greatness to a degree. Like, I mean, like they go 18. Well, Kevin Durant misses the last 18 games of the regular season last year. They go 18-0. Steph Curry misses what games? They lose like one game. I mean, it's just I don't know.
I'm just a disclaimer before I tell you my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm never going to say nothing bad about Kevin Durant. That's my friend. So
it's
not,
he's in Texas like me too. I'm a fan of KD.
I'm just saying that is nothing.
I don't think you're upset at KD. I just think you're upset that the NBA right now is like one team and then everybody else.
A little bit, right.
The thing about it is, what I was going to say is that KD, I just don't think he wants to be in that conversation. Like, you know, whether it was in the public or not, him and Russell Westbrook's relationship, whether good, whether bad, who knows? They had a great working relationship. They was up 3-1 on Golden State before he went there.
Right.
But I just think that KD, and I'm just speaking for him because he's not told me this. I have no information. But I really believe that he doesn't want to be in the Charles Barkley, the Patrick Ewing, the Reggie Miller, the John Stockton, the Karl Malone.
Yeah.
All these people, the great players that haven't won
the
a championship.
Yeah.
No, not even what if. Those are all All-Stars and Hall of Famers I'm naming, but they have no championship.
Yeah.
Michael Jordan messed up their championship for him.
Yeah.
And I think he just didn't want to be in that.
I've always said this. How are we going to tell these kids their entire lives that championships and rings matter? Right. And then when they try to get one, go, you're selling out. No,
Right.
you're the one that said it was so important to get a ring or else everyone.
Yeah.
I don't know. I enjoyed having you here.
Thank you for having me.
That was a lot of fun.
I really appreciate it.
NFL, who is your team? Is it still Washington or are you a Giants fan?
No.
You're just an NFL guy?
Patriots fan.
Oh, gosh, damn. I don't know. We got to reconsider whether we have you back.
No, we love the Patriots.
No, we do. I work for the Patriots.
I'm an Eagles fan.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I'm not mad at the Eagles winning. I'll tell you that.
I appreciate that.
I'm really not mad at the Eagles winning a little bit.
You could give us one. You'll take the other 5?
Well, no. What I'm saying is this. I'm just a fan of great systems. My team is the Spurs.
Yeah.
So you got Belichick, you got Popovich.
Sure.
I like organized systems.
Yeah. Right.
And just the way certain things, the way Bill Belichick, it's not even Tom Brady for me. Even though I love Tom Brady and the way he's competing at his age on such a high level.
Right.
You know, I told people this year if he wins this Super Bowl, which he did, I'm going to put him next to Jordan. I'm not putting him above, but the time span for a 40-year-old from 2000 to 2017 to be in 7 Super Bowls, to win, well now, what is it, 8 now, to win 5 out of the 8.
8, yeah.
And what do you have in the championship, 500-something yards? And did he win the MVP? I know he's not.
No, Nick Foles ended up winning it.
Yeah.
He won the MVP regular season, though.
Oh, yeah. MVP for the regular
season.
season.
So he didn't win the MVP.
Yeah, he did.
Won the MVP.
40 years old when
Hardware.
the MVP. Yeah,
right.
40 years old when the NFL MVP, going back to the Super Bowl, 500 yards at 40 years old.
Yeah.
He's
It's
amazing.
great. But
Simms thinks he's more Derek Jeter than Michael Jordan.
Yeah, I couldn't ever put him in the Jordan because this is the me where the Jordan thing. I go, Jordan was the most physically gifted guy in the sport, as well as being like the winner.
Right.
And Brady's not the physically gifted guy. He's still got a really strong arm, and he's awesome. Don't get me wrong, but like. Yeah, like if you put him on the field next to an Aaron Rodgers, you'd go like, holy shit, there's no comparison. Aaron Rodgers is faster, got a quicker release, got a stronger arm, everything. That's not taking away from him. Right. I'm just saying that's why I say the Jeter thing.
Well, that's why I said I like the system because even you know, even with
Garoppolo,
even,
Ryan Mallett, they went.
No, but what I'm saying is this: what you got to realize, it's the system. Because like, you know, you got when Bill Belichick got rid of Randy Moss, I'm like, what is he doing? Like, this is crazy. But they end up still going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, they're amazing.
So back to the system, you have Belichick, and what happens? The offensive coordinator is supposed to go to Indianapolis.
Yeah.
You know who called? Tom Brady needs these people around him.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it isn't like just Tom Brady. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I even think Wentz is right behind Rodgers almost as far as athletics.
Tell him,
You don't have to tell him. I'm with you.
You know
Don't
what I'm
worry. I'm
saying?
with you. Don't worry. Yes.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm not going to put him in Aaron Rodgers category
Right.
yet. But he's up and coming. It's sad that he got hurt.
Yeah.
But that's back to the Spurs and back to the
Right.
just the system and being organized and having the right pieces around you because football is the biggest team sport there is.
Yeah.
Are you a Duke basketball fan?
No.
Okay. Are you an Alabama football fan?
Sometimes.
The only reason I was going to ask is I thought you would
They're
go
like that.
I thought you were going to go Popovich, Belichick,
It's harmony within the
Krzyzewski,
system and how
Saban.
the organizations run.
Yeah, well, it is. You know, it's a little too much for college. For me.
College. I was just going to say college. That doesn't fly up here in the New York City area.
Cam wasn't playing college.
No. I went to college.
Yeah, I know.
But the point is, it isn't about not liking college.
We're just not diehards. Like,
yeah, exactly. I'm not going to go like.
You're not tuning a game on Thursday night college basketball, are you? You're watching March Madness.
Exactly.
Right, but I don't watch until we get to this time of the year.
Because especially with college basketball, you can't really get too familiar because the good players are only going to stay for 1 year and then they're leaving. It isn't like when Grant Hill was there for 4 years or
Jason Williams was there.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, you got these players who went for at least 2 years. You know what I'm saying? So
Awesome. Cam,
let me ask you guys a question.
Ask us anything you want.
Come on.
So how you guys feel about this NCAA situation?
So what's really funny is when Louisville was doing all this stuff, I was working in Louisville. I was a reporter. So when I hear people say, what are these reporters? They don't even know.
Right.
no one had any idea.
Right.
I'm a firm believer that the NCAA is complete dog shit. They need to pay these guys anyway. I would like the entire system to come down. I don't understand how the commissioner, Mark Emmert, can say, oh, there's a problem, and they can fire coaches because they didn't know what was going on, but the head of the NCAA doesn't get in trouble when he doesn't know what's going on. So that doesn't make any sense to me.
Right.
And the other thing that I'll say is just I can't support capitalizing on these kids for this long, for this much money. It's got to come down. They've got to come up with a new system.
Right.
And in terms of Rick Pitino, I think he ran it like the Goodfellas.
Right.
I think he legitimately went to his coaches and said, don't tell me what you're doing.
Right.
I legitimately believe he doesn't know because he wanted plausible deniability.
Right.
But I think the whole thing's a sham.
Right.
What do you think, Simms? You actually played in the NCAA.
Cheating's going on at every school, so it's bullcrap to even try to think it. And then there's nobody more corrupt than the NCAA. I mean, there's just nobody. Whether you go into football and there are people who are taking money for certain bowl games and the way it is, I have an issue with all of it. I have an issue. The system needs to be changed. I mean, there's just so many hypocrisies within their rule. I mean, he's right. The greatest example is to say the coach has lost institutional control, yet Mark Emmert's supposed to be in control of the coaches, and seems like he loses institutional control yearly.
All the time.
So, but why doesn't he get blamed for it? I don't know. It's fucked up, but they got to find something.
The issue is this. Basketball and football need to become their own things. Because what the NCAA always says to us is, well, if you're going to play football, are you going to pay gymnastics? Are you going to pay like women's baseball or softball? And we're not talking about that. None of those make money.
But football, that's where they lose the conversation. You're right. Like Texas, at the University of Texas, the football team pays for all the other sports.
All of them.
They don't exist without them making the money that's made through football. So there you have, that just shows you, like, the University of Texas makes over $100 million a year. And, guys, they do their best within the rules to make sure they can buy groceries and things like that. But still.
Yeah, it's like
it's not.
I went to college for a semester and a half. And
it was a hell of a time.
It was a good time. But I ended up being kicked out. That's a whole other story. But it's not easy for the average college athlete to get $1.
No.
If you have to go to school, you have to work out twice a day. Then you have to make sure that you're in the cafeteria to have a meal.
Right.
You can't, you can't even sell your autograph. You can't sell your jersey. I need to know why they need to monetize every single second of these guys' life outside of basketball.
Yeah.
But I can't think of that player's name that was from Ohio State who sold their jerseys and they got fired.
Terrell Pryor.
Yeah, and the coaches got fired.
Yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I just don't think it's fair. My only question is, and it's not nothing bad, is just to figure out the system that needs to be figured out. Because let's say a small school may not make as much as Texas.
Yeah, right.
So Texas makes $100 million, whereas maybe St. John's makes $12 million.
Yeah.
So how do you figure out on how to pay the players? But I'm giving you guys a heads up. You didn't hear from me, but you heard it from me.
Okay.
The HBCs are on the way
to
stepping away from the NCAA.
For real.
And still be college basketball, because you can still be a college without being in the NCAA.
Sure, right.
And figuring out how to pay these guys, and this has been going on the last few months.
Right.
And what's going to eventually happen, it may not be an overnight process, but they're going to end up getting good players, because what you got to realize is saying, look, if you're in high school, you know you're going to the NBA. Why not go to this HBC, make $150,000 this year, and then go to the NBA?
Right.
Even like Brandon Jenner, and it's the way to stay in America also.
Yeah.
Instead of going to Italy for a year.
And play anyway.
Right.
So you're telling me that a group of African Americans are going to come together and come up with a good idea that other people are going to steal later?
Let me tell you. Don't say no. Listen, when this comes out, it's on Bleacher Report first, and I'm reporting at the HBCs.
Breaking news.
Yeah, this is breaking news. They're getting together right now to get away out of the NCAA and figure out a way to play players, to recruit high school players to stay in America and play at their schools. And eventually they're going to get the sponsorship.
Yeah.
And they're going to get the ads. And they're going to get the great kids that go into the Dukes and North Carolinas and the Kansases and all these other schools.
The thing that excites me what you're saying is the thing that you always hear from people that are supporting the NCAA is, well, then what's your idea?
Right.
And the fact that anyone's going to come up with an idea, it's just a starting point.
Right.
Instead of being like, well, I don't want to spend time doing that.
Right.
That's exciting. Cam, breaking news.
Yeah, breaking news.
Appreciate you, man.
Cam, come back, man.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you guys for having me, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Camera, what? I know you got a show tonight, BB Kings.
No, it's actually canceled.
Okay,
We
it's canceled.
Yep, but
yeah. What do you want to promote? Anything?
just go get the program that's out right now.
Album, the program.
The movie Honor Up that I'm in, executive produced by Dame Dash, that came out last week. It's on demand. It's on Hulu, Amazon, everything. You can watch on your phone or your tablet or your computer.
Yeah, millennials.
Yeah, exactly. Going to Dipset tour June 2nd to August 2nd.
Damn.
This summer. The movie Is It a Crime that me and my partner Dario Rodriguez wrote. Look out for that.
So you're kind of being lazy these days, huh? Shit, man, you're doing so much stuff.
I don't really have nothing to do, man.
Yeah.
I might be coming to one of those Dipset shows.
Please do.
I'm actually going to reach out to you, too.
Do. Yeah,
we'll make my wife. She could be like one of the booty shakers on the stage or something.
Nah, anytime
make
you guys
her earn her
come,
tickets.
I'm not going to get into that. That's up to you,
Not even
man.
fucking kidding. We need to bring Big Fucker, Big Phil, to
Big
Dipset.
fucker. He wouldn't know how to act.
Bring Phil, man. Tell him I'm fair.
All right, man.
fucking
Appreciate
A.
it. Thanks for coming, man.
Anytime.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.